Hey, so in this video, I want to talk real quick about volunteer application. So for a long time, volunteers have pretty much applied through a paper application or a PDF application, and then they've just sent it by mail or email to the volunteer coordinator in each park or district. There is now an online application that we are able to create, which is through Better Impact. And I'm going to show you a couple ways that you can access and send out a volunteer online application. It really is just going to be you sending out a link. So let's just say that we have a volunteer who is interested in working up at Prairie Creek at the visitor center, and they want to know how they can apply. Well, there's a couple ways that you can do this. So let's say that you got an email from them or a phone call from them. One option is you can send them a link to our state park page, to Prairie Creek Redwood State Park webpage. And if they scroll down this webpage and go to Get Involved, this will take them to another page where there's information about volunteering. And you'll see that right here, campground host, volunteer information, maintenance, and more. Down here, there is visit the volunteer portal to apply to volunteer at our visitor centers. And there's also an option for volunteering for camp hosts. And if you go farther down, there's also natural resource volunteer portals as well. So all of these are different links to different volunteer portals. And the reason that that is the case, I'll explain in just a moment. But let's just say that we're this volunteer interested in Prairie Creek. So we click this link, and that takes us to the volunteer portal. This is a Better Impact page, and when we, as a volunteer, we see that there's some very simple instructions to, if we want to apply. Pretty much the only thing you can do on this page right now is click this fill in an application, which then takes them to the application form. If I am a volunteer that's never had a My Impact page account or a Better Impact page, Better Impact account, then I'm going to create a new username and password. So basically, if I haven't been a state park volunteer in the last few years, then I'm probably going to have to create an account. If you are a returning volunteer, then likely maybe you worked at another park in a different district, then you're just going to sign in using your pre-existing credentials. So once we've done this, in this case, let's go to my username, Dale Cooper, and I'll put in the password here. And they still want information from me, so I want you to be able to see what this looks like. So and here we go. Now we're into the volunteer application. So as a volunteer, I'm going to fill in all of this information. It's just basically everything you would have had on the paper form, but now it's put in a digital form. Once I'm done with this, it'll ask what park I want to work at, what activities, little background history. Once I've submitted this, that is going to show up in Better Impact. So that will show up if you are the volunteer coordinator or the interpreter one or whatever, then you're going to get into you're going to log into Better Impact. First of all, you'll get probably an email notification that says that a volunteer has applied, and you'll see them show up in this dashboard. You'll see this applicant pop up to, if it's a new person, then this would go up to 6. And then by clicking that, you're able to access their volunteer information from the other side. So that's one way that you can access the volunteer application and connect that to a volunteer, is just through the website. Here's another way that you can do it. And in order to do this, I have to log back in. The other way that you can send an application to a volunteer through basically a link, and you can access this volunteer form link on Better Impact. So let's say that you have a volunteer that, or a prospective volunteer that emails you that says, hey, I want to volunteer at Prairie Creek. So if you are a Prairie Creek interpreter, or if you're an interpreter at Humboldt Redwoods or wherever, and you log into Better Impact, you're going to go to configurations on that top toolbar, and you're going to go down to, let's see here. We are going to go down to application form settings. So when you click configurations and you saw that left toolbar appear under recruitment, there's application form settings. And this will allow you to basically generate a link. So you come to this page, and all you're going to do is you're just going to click generate link. And I believe that what you're going to want to do is send them, if they're interested in doing visitor center volunteering, you're going to send them volunteer 1. If they're interested in doing camp hosting, that's an additional little bit of information that is required on the form. That would be a volunteer 2. And if they're youth volunteers, it's going to be volunteer 3. So you select volunteer 1 if they're going to be a visitor center or maintenance or other kinds of like docent. And you just click generate link, and you'll see that appear down here. And there's several different links. There's a simplified one, there's a longer one. And here's the thing. If I click this link and I just pop it into our search bar up here, you can see it takes me to that same page that we accessed through the web page, the state park web page. So it's linked both ways there. So those are 2 ways to send out an application link to your volunteers. Hope that was helpful.